What's up, y'all? I'm Carrie.
And I'm Dee Dee.
And this is the Carrie and Duty Show.
What's up?
So, today we're going to talk about sperm donors. Our question is, do you think sperm donating is a good thing? Especially in cases where this sperm has been used to create 72 something odd kids. How do you feel about that? I know you had some things you wanted to say.
Well, my question is, well, in this case, okay, this show that I was watching, the show is called Sperm Donor. And some of the kids that he's produced from, donating his sperm, their mother wanted to get in contact with him, and she wants to establish some type of relationship between him and the kids. So basically, he gets to meet the children. He has one of the sons and one of the daughters. He gets to meet these kids. He's looking at the kids and he's like, "Oh yes, definitely, these are my kids." I mean, and you could see that those children look just like him. So you're looking at him, and he's like, "Definitely, these are my kids." And he gets to spend some time with the children, play with them, and mind you, this woman, their mother, who wanted the sperm, who didn't want a father figure in place in the beginning, now she wants the kids to have a relationship with their biological father. Now he's planning on getting married. His wife clearly doesn't want him to have anything to do with these children. Mind you, it's 72 of them. But she's made it very clear to him that she wants them to have their children together, and she does not want him to have anything to do with these children. But he seems to be open to it. He kind of seems to be on the fence because he likes spending time with the kids. So really my question is, when you give sperm, should you have a relationship with the kids you produced, or should it just continue to be anonymous? Because the whole point of giving your sperm was so that it could be anonymous, and so that these aren't your kids that you want to have a relationship with. You're just helping somebody else have some kids.
I think it should stay anonymous, because the reason why you did it that way is so that you could have your child to yourself in many cases, and or you're LGBT or something like that. You just wanted to have the child for yourself, and you didn't really need a partner or want a partner.
Right.
I think it should stay anonymous, because then the legal tangle of this becomes off. It's like, well, if I'm going to be a part of this child's life, I'm not going to be Harry. I'm going to be Daddy.
You are the father.
So now it just gets crazy, because like that show we saw, The Kids Are All Right, where the kids went looking for the father,
right,
and then it got kind of crazy and weird, and then he got kicked out. It's like that's the kind of thing that I'm looking at. It's like, what happens if it gets twisted? And then he gets to fall in love with these kids, and then he's kicked out.
I don't think you should. I don't think the parents or the person who gave the sperm, or the parent who got the sperm and who have the kids, I don't think that they should actively pursue looking for the sperm donor. He or she, he gave the sperm anonymously, and it should stay that way, because seriously, like, it's weird. It's weird. I don't think, but the funny thing about it is the children grow up and go look for the parent, because they feel like there's a connection to that person.
Yeah.
Because they feel like that is my biological parent, and I want to see if we look alike. I want to see if we have some similarities. They go looking. So to me, that's a little tricky situation.
I do believe that the doctors who are using this sperm should limit how many times that sperm is copied, because 72 children, that's a lot of kids, and that causes some issues later on. Like, let's say a couple of those kids hook up by some chance.
And they have the same DNA.
They have the same DNA, and we got a whole bunch of other situations going on here.
Yeah, that's a tricky situation.
72 times should be limited.
But it was funny, though, because he looked at the kids, and he, to me, it's like he wouldn't mind having a relationship with them, because he know this is my blood.
These
These are my
children.
children.
Yeah.
That it's funny that it was like it was kind of strange for him, but at the same time he felt like it was normal, like it was effortlessly the way the kids adapted to him. They wanted to see him again. I mean, because they deep down those kids know that's my father.
Mm-hmm.
Their mother isn't saying it, but they're not crazy, and it's just weird. It's just weird.
But you remember before we saw something similar to this, where the guy had 6 or 7,
mm-hmm.
and he was kind of waifed on how he was approaching the child, and the mother was like, "Well, she's been here all day," and it's like, really, it's not. It's his child, but it's really your child.
Right.
You're treating him like he's a deadbeat dad, but actually, you kind of bought this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he didn't have to be there.
But it's like, a lot of times women, like this woman was a straight woman. She was not lesbian or gay or anything. Mm-hmm. She was a straight woman. She just didn't, I guess, maybe she didn't want to have, I don't know what her reasoning for wanting a sperm donor. She just wanted to raise her kids by herself, or, she wasn't married, and so she didn't want to have sex with nobody, and she just wanted kids. Maybe that could have been the reason. I don't really know. But all I know is once she saw the interaction between him and the kids, she wanted him to be a part of the kids' lives. It's something that she wanted. So she changed her mind.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's something you should do. I think because you decided you wanted your kids that way, I don't think you should go back and decide later on. Because what if right? Because what if he seems like he would be open to it, but he got to deal with his wife.
Yeah, he has a fiance
but
now, and he should have been more open with her, letting her know this, and if this happens, that I come in contact with them, I might want to be in a relationship with my kids.
Because he wasn't really clear about it, because he didn't really know. But once he had a little time with the kids, seemed like he was open to seeing them more often, mm-hmm. and being a part of their lives, and that's what their mother wants. But initially, I don't think she wanted that. Yeah. So I think you need to know what you're doing. But see, a lot of times before you have children, you have this idea of what you think you want or how you want it. But then when kids come into play, it changes the whole thing, because those kids grow up and they have when they're babies, you have to, do everything for them. But when they get to an age where when they're able to realize things and talk and use their own brains, then you start to feel some kind of way. Like her daughter asked her, so where did we come from? And were you and whatever his name, Jack, were you married? Because she said you were married and you broke up and now he's married someone else. And she was like, where did this come from? She never was married. She never told her daughter that she was married to him. But why did the child just assume that? Kids hear things, they learn things other than what you teach them. They learn stuff. So she thought that they were married and they broke up and he's got another wife and we that's our dad and we want to see him. So it's just confusing. You have to be careful, about what you do. Don't just think about yourself. Think about those kids, because they have to get older. They're going to start asking questions. They're going to start telling you how they feel, and you don't want any resentment from your kids based on your decision. You have to include them in it, even when they can't even. Just because when they're little, they can't address or say anything about it, but they have to grow up. And then when they get older, they will ask questions and they will, start to figure things out and ask you, why did you do this? You didn't feel like they weren't included, because they may want a father. You can't make these decisions selfishly when you're bringing kids into the world. Yeah. And I think that's just something to think about. But, that was very interesting to me.